8 Warning signs you should not trust someone. Trust is a vital component in any healthy relationship, whether it be a friendship, romantic partnership, or professional collaboration. Trust allows us to feel secure, open, and connected with others. Unfortunately, not everyone we encounter in life is trustworthy, and it can be challenging to identify the warning signs that someone is not worthy of our trust. In this article, we'll explore 8 signs you should not trust someone. 1. They constantly lie. Lying is a significant red flag when it comes to trust. If someone lies to you repeatedly, it's unlikely that they have your best interests at heart. Lies can come in many forms, from small fibs to more significant falsehoods. If you catch someone in a lie, it's important to pay attention to whether or not they take responsibility for their actions. If they refuse to own up to their deception, it's a clear indication that they aren't trustworthy. 2. They have a history of betrayal. People who have betrayed others in the past are unlikely to change their ways. If someone has a history of breaking promises, cheating, or engaging in other deceptive behavior, it's a warning sign that they may not be trustworthy. Of course, people can change, but it's essential to be cautious when dealing with someone who has a track record of betraying others. 3. They don't keep their word. If someone promises to do something and then fails to follow through, it's a sign that they aren't reliable. Trustworthy people do what they say they will do, even if it's difficult or inconvenient. If someone consistently fails to keep their word, it's unlikely that they are trustworthy. 4. They gossip. Gossiping is a sign of a lack of respect for others' privacy and boundaries. If someone talks about others behind their backs, it's an indication that they may not be trustworthy. After all, if they're willing to talk about others behind their backs, what's stopping them from doing the same to you? 5. They are inconsistent. Inconsistency can be a warning sign of many things, including unreliability and lack of authenticity. If someone is unpredictable, it's challenging to know what to expect from them, making it difficult to build trust. People who are consistent in their behavior and actions are more likely to be trustworthy. 6. They don't apologize. Apologizing is a crucial part of building and maintaining trust. If someone refuses to apologize when they've done something wrong, it's a sign that they don't value your feelings or the relationship. A sincere apology can go a long way in rebuilding trust, but if someone isn't willing to take responsibility for their actions, it's unlikely that trust can be restored. 7. They blame others. People who refuse to take responsibility for their actions and instead blame others are unlikely to be trustworthy. Blaming others is a way of deflecting responsibility, and it shows a lack of maturity and emotional intelligence. If someone consistently blames others for their mistakes or shortcomings, it's a warning sign that they may not be trustworthy. 8. They don't listen. Active listening is a critical component of any healthy relationship. If someone consistently interrupts, talks over you, or dismisses your feelings, it's an indication that they may not be trustworthy. Listening is a way of showing respect and empathy for others, and if someone isn't willing to do that, it's unlikely that they can be trusted. In conclusion, trust is a fundamental component of any healthy relationship, and it's crucial to pay attention to warning signs that someone may not be trustworthy. Constant lying, a history of betrayal, failure to keep their word, gossiping, inconsistency, refusal to apologize, blaming others, and not listening are all warning signs that someone may not be trustworthy. It's important to remember that not everyone we encounter in life will be trustworthy, and that's okay. By being aware of these warning signs, we can protect ourselves and our relationships from potential harm. If you find yourself in a situation where you no longer trust someone, it's essential to communicate your feelings clearly and honestly. It's possible that the person may not even be aware of how their actions are affecting you, and by bringing it to their attention, they may be willing to make changes. However, it's also important to recognize that sometimes, people simply aren't capable of change, and it's best to distance yourself from them for your own well-being. Building trust takes time and effort, but it's a critical component of any healthy relationship. If you find someone who exhibits trustworthy behavior, hold onto them tightly and nurture that relationship. By surrounding ourselves with people we can trust, we can create a safe and supportive environment for ourselves and those around us. Ultimately, trust is something that is earned, and it takes time and consistent behavior to build. It's not something that can be given freely or taken for granted. If someone shows trustworthy behavior consistently, it's a good sign that they are someone you can rely on and build a strong relationship with. However, if you notice any of the 8 signs mentioned earlier, it's essential to take a step back and reassess the situation. While it may be difficult to let go of someone you care about, it's important to prioritize your own well-being and protect yourself from potential harm. In some cases, it may be possible to rebuild trust with someone who has broken it. This requires open communication, accountability, and a willingness to make changes. However, it's important to remember that rebuilding trust is a process that takes time and effort from both parties. In conclusion, trust is an essential component of any healthy relationship, and it's important to pay attention to warning signs that someone may not be trustworthy. Constant lying, a history of betrayal, failure to keep their word, gossiping, inconsistency, refusal to apologize, blaming others, and not listening are all warning signs that someone may not be worthy of your trust. By being aware of these signs, communicating our needs and boundaries clearly, and surrounding ourselves with people who exhibit trustworthy behavior, we can create relationships that are built on a foundation of trust, respect, and mutual support. It's also important to remember that trust is a two-way street. Just as we expect others to be trustworthy, we must also be trustworthy ourselves. This means keeping our word, being honest and transparent, and taking responsibility for our actions. In addition, it's important to recognize that trust can be fragile, and it's easy to break. Even minor betrayals can erode trust over time, so it's essential to be mindful of our behavior and the impact it has on others. Finally, it's important to remember that trust is not just about keeping secrets or being reliable. It's also about showing empathy, being there for others when they need us, and treating others with kindness and respect. When we build trust with others, we create a strong foundation for meaningful relationships that can last a lifetime. In conclusion, trust is a critical component of any healthy relationship, and it's important to be aware of warning signs that someone may not be trustworthy. By paying attention to behaviors like constant lying, a history of betrayal, and refusal to take responsibility, we can protect ourselves from potential harm. By surrounding ourselves with people who exhibit trustworthy behavior and being trustworthy ourselves, we can build relationships that are built on a foundation of mutual respect, support, and trust.